Yeah, I've been there, and it sucks. Alright, let's be real. How many times have you heard it? Just stop buying lattes and you'll be rich, please. If it were that easy, we'd all be rolling in dough, right? The truth is, most financial advice feels like it was written by someone who hasn't felt the sweet, sweet joy of a perfectly brewed flat white on a Monday morning, or the comfort of a Netflix binge after a soul-crushing week. They want you to live like a monk. No fun, just spreadsheets and sadness. That's the old way, I get it. You try to save, you really do. You make a budget, you download an app, you even say no to that extra topping on your pizza for like a week. Then life happens. A friend's birthday, a sale you can't ignore. Suddenly your savings account looks emptier than a politician's promises. It's a cycle, a frustrating, demoralizing cycle. You start feeling like saving money is just not for you, like you're doomed to be bad with money forever. But what if I told you there's another way? A path where you can actually build up your savings, hit those big goals, and still enjoy your life. Yes, you heard me. Coffee? Keep it. Netflix subscription? Absolutely essential. So why did I suddenly decide to get my financial act together? It wasn't a single lightning bolt moment. It was more like a slow, agonizing realization. Picture this, me staring at my bank account. The numbers were not pretty. Paycheck would come in and poof, gone, like a magic trick. But the only one not laughing was me. I was living paycheck to paycheck, and any unexpected expense, a car repair, a dentist visit, would send me into a full-blown panic. Sound familiar? The real wake-up call, my come-to-Jesus moment happened one rainy Tuesday. I know, very dramatic. My ancient laptop finally decided to give up the ghost, kaput, and I needed it for, life, work, everything. The cost to replace it. Way more than I had just lying around. I felt that familiar dread creep in, that feeling of being trapped by my own financial irresponsibility. I realized I was tired of the stress, tired of the constant worry, tired of feeling like I had no control. That day, something clicked. I decided I needed a safety net, an emergency fund, a life happens fund. Okay, so I had my goal, $5,000. I had my motivation, sheer terror of another financial faceplant. Now, I needed a plan. Not some complicated 75-step program that requires a PhD in economics. I needed simple rules. Rules that even my easily distracted brain could follow. And guess what? I came up with 3. Just 3. And they changed everything. You can totally steal these. In fact, I insist. Rule number 1, automate your savings. The set it and forget it savings machine. This first rule is pure gold. Seriously, every payday before I could even think about spending it, a set amount of money automatically transferred from my checking account to a separate savings account. Out of sight, out of mind. It's like paying yourself first, but without the willpower battle. I started small, just $50 a week. Then I bumped it up as I got more comfortable. The key? Make it automatic. Treat it like any other bill, non-negotiable. This single habit did most of the heavy lifting. Rule number 2, the weekly money huddle. No excuses. Every Sunday evening, I'd sit down for 15 to 20 minutes and look at my spending for the week. Not to judge myself, not to feel guilty, but just to see where my money was going. Section 4, my savings toolkit, apps, mind tricks, and weekend wins. Alright, so I had my 3 golden rules. But rules need tools, right? Like Batman needs his utility belt. I armed myself with a few key things that made the whole process smoother, and dare I say, almost fun. First up, a budgeting app. I tried a few, but landed on one that was simple to use and didn't make me feel like I was deciphering ancient hieroglyphics. It helped me see exactly where my cash was flowing. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your spending habits. Next, I discovered the magic of sinking funds. Sounds dramatic, I know, but it's brilliant. These are mini savings accounts for specific future expenses. Things like holiday gifts, car maintenance, or that weekend trip you actually want to take. Instead of being surprised by these big costs, I'd put a little bit away for them each month. So, when it was time to buy Christmas presents, the money was already there. No stress, no debt. It's like planning for a party instead of a panic attack. Then came the no-spend weekends. Okay, hear me out. It sounds boring, but it was a game changer. 1 weekend a month, sometimes 2, I challenged myself not to spend any money. Zero, nada. This forced me to get creative. I explored free local parks, had potlucks with friends, rediscovered my library card. They have movies too, people. And actually finished some of those half-read books. It was surprisingly fun, and the savings really added up. Plus, it broke the habit of mindless weekend spending. Section 5. The Great Purge. Cutting costs, not happiness. Seriously. Now you might be thinking, okay, Hassan, automation, check-ins, mindful spending, cool tools. But you to cut something, right? Where's the catch? And you're right, I did make some cuts. But here's the secret. I cut things that, honestly, I didn't miss. Things that weren't actually adding much joy to my life. It wasn't about deprivation, it was about reprioritization. And keeping my coffee and Netflix, obviously. Those were non-negotiable. My sanity depended on them. First on the chopping block, unused subscriptions. I did an audit, and folks, it was embarrassing. That gym membership I used twice in 6 months. Gone. The fancy cheese of the month club I forgot I signed up for. Cancelled. That streaming service I only watched one show on. Bye-bye. It was like finding free money. Each little cancellation added a bit more to my savings pot. It turns out, set it and forget it can work against you too, if you're not paying attention to those sneaky recurring charges. Next up, those daily bought lunches at work and too many takeout dinners. I love food, okay? But spending $15 to $20 a day on lunch adds up faster than you can say avocado toast. So, I embraced meal prepping. Packing my own lunch wasn't just cheaper, it was often healthier. And for dinners, I started cooking more at home. It didn't mean no more restaurant meals, but they became more of a treat, something I genuinely looked forward to, rather than a default because I was too tired to cook. My wallet and my waistline thanked me. Impulse online shopping was another big one. The dopamine hit of add to cart is real, I know. But so is the buyer's remorse. Section 6. From broken stress to saved and blessed. Your turn. So, what happened after 6 months of these rules, tools, and relatively painless cuts? I hit my goal. $5,000 sitting in my savings account. It felt incredible, like superhero level incredible. But the real surprise wasn't just the number on the screen, it was how the constant low-level anxiety about money, it started to fade. That knot in my stomach every time I thought about an unexpected bill, gone. I actually started sleeping better. Who knew financial health was linked to actual health? Having that financial cushion changed everything. It gave me a sense of security I hadn't realized I was missing so badly. It meant that when my car inevitably needed a new alternator a few months later, it was an inconvenience, not a catastrophe. I just paid for it. No panic, no borrowing, no stress. That feeling of control, of knowing I could handle whatever life threw at me, within reason, let's not get crazy, was priceless. More valuable than any fancy gadget or expensive meal. So what are the big takeaways here? First, saving money doesn't have to be a miserable experience. You save and still enjoy your life. Second, automation is your best friend. Make saving effortless. Third, regular check-ins and mindful spending keep you aware and in control. And finally, small changes add up to big results. It's about progress, not perfection. You don't have to give up your coffee or your Netflix. You just need to be smarter about the rest.